What's going on, everyone? It's G-Ball, and I am having a knife sale. Over 20 knives are up on the chopping block. A lot of these are going to be priced to move. There are a few that are going to retain their value just because they're pricier knives, and I'll show you those here in a few moments. If you've never been through one of my sales here before, or to the channel before for that matter, welcome to G-Ball Vision. It is a very simple setup. If you see a knife or knives that you want, shoot me an email. It'll be first come, first serve. My email will be down in the description, and that's where you're going to find all the information that you want on these knives, because we're going to be zooming through this video just to get through the knives quickly. All the pricing, all the knives, materials, specs, and all that stuff is going to be down in the description. There's quite a few knives on here that you either cannot get right now, cannot get anymore, or they're a little bit more premium ended knives. Shoot me an email, gballvision@outlook.com. If you want something, don't leave a comment if you want something, because the chances I see that are going to be pretty slim. So shoot me an email. That's how we're going to do everything. First come, first serve. Doesn't matter which app you want to use, from PayPal to Cash App, Venmo, and whatever the other one is that I can never remember. One of those four is completely fine. If you disappear after emailing me, and don't say anything else after 10, 15 minutes, I will probably move on to the next person, just because so many people say they want something, and then I tell somebody who actually wants it and is gonna pay that they're waiting behind somebody, and it's just a mess. So if you want something, feel free to email me. If you're not sure, maybe hold off till you figure it out, right? But we're going to zoom through this video. Make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. That way you can keep up with any other future sales, as well as my normal daily content on all kinds of knives and gear. I think that covers everything. Email me if you want a knife. Any of the major apps for transactions is fine. All the knives will be in order in the description with their pricing, their sale pricing, and I'll try to put the retail price in there as well. But that's going to do it for that. We're going to zoom through this list. First up, we have a prototype Devo Tallboy. Specs and all that stuff is, going to be out the window, because some of them, I forget what the steels are and the sizes and all that type of thing. It's going to be down in the description. But I can tell you a couple of these are doozies. This one has the black carbon fiber. This is a titanium clip that is left-hand friendly. Studs and a cutout for the deployment. It's your standard Devo Tallboy, but this one is actually a prototype blade show from Devo. So not many of these available. Next, we have the Tuya Voodoo here. This bad boy is going to come in S90V. I remember that. A beautiful belt satin into a hand satin. You have a cutout for the deployment. The detent is beautiful. Tuya does a great job on their S90V. And then we have a nice titanium handle, backspacer, pocket clip, all the hardware. Great access to that lock bar. And I will have this down at a fantastic price. Like I said, all that stuff is going to be in the description. We have the Tuya Shocker here. This bad boy is going to be coming in at 20 CV. Beautiful belt satin into a hand satin here again. Cut out for the deployment. Nice titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip. Really cool pocket clip for that matter. Great access to that lock bar. It is chamfered and jimped. The detent is beautiful on this knife. Reverse flick is money, and so is the thumb flick. Love that blade shape. The Tuya Shaka, baby. Next up, we have the Tempest knives Pinion, and I believe this bad boy came in, 14C28N. Nice stonewash blade. Beautiful micarta. Like I said, some of these knives are either impossible to get, you just can't get them anymore because they're not in production, or the knife isn't in production and may be in the future, but we don't know. There's several knives in today's video that fall into that category. This is one of them. You cannot get this knife right now currently. Another one that you definitely can't get right now is this beautiful beast. This is the Devo Fireball, and I know this one was coming in S90V. This is the model that Stasa collabed with Devo on, or Stasa is the one who did the design, and Devo did the production work, I guess you want to say, the design work. I don't know how that actually all works out. It's a collab with Stasa and Devo. I forget who did the OEM on it, but they did a superb job. You have that beautiful black carbon fiber here again, and then you have this textured insert on the back strap, and then a milled titanium clip, and that is going to be right-hand carry only, I believe. Yeah, I think it is. And this is going to be a recessed liner lock, great access, really good action. This bad boy is all but brand new. I bought this just to make a few videos on it, and I have not carried it. I have not used it. This knife is pretty much in pristine condition. Next, we have the Monterey Bay Knives Old Guard, the big Haas in ZDP 189 steel. You have that beautiful modified Wharncliffe blade, thumb studs for the deployment. This is a knife right here that you can't get your hands on right now either. And when these do come out on the website occasionally, they are very hard to get. They go very quickly. I was lucky to get my hands on this one when I did. You have a full titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip. It is going to be a recessed liner lock here again, and this bad boy is on washers, and it is beautifully smooth. Beautiful. Detent is excellent. Nice smooth close, especially for washers. Once you break that straight up and down, it is a smooth sailing, and I bet you could get that even better. But that is the Old Guard, a knife that was at one point in time considered a semi-grail for me. Next up, we have the Tuya Knives NV4. This bad boy is sporting S90V, a beautiful belt satin on that modified sheep's foot, dual thumb studs for the deployment. This thing also has a beautiful detent, nice strong lockup, full titanium handle with a carbon fiber insert on both sides, milled tie clip, titanium backspacer. I've actually bought 2 of these. That's why I'm actually selling one. I'm keeping my copper infused carbon fiber variant. This one is in way better condition, basically has no use on it whatsoever, and I still have it down at a phenomenal price. Great access to the lock bar. Closing action is beautiful. That is the Tuya NV4. I don't think you can get those anymore either. Next, we have the Berg Blades Mini Sweeney Todd. The Mini Sweeney here. This bad boy is coming in 20 CV steel. Beautiful belt satin. You have a cutout and top flipper for the deployment. Let me tell you what, this knife is fun as all hell. Titanium handle, beautiful carbon fiber inlays on both sides. And then you have a titanium backspacer and pocket clip. Great access to the lock bar. It's chamfered off beautifully. Just an excellent, excellent knife. Someday I'll probably get the full size Sweeney if he does them again. But another knife that you probably would have trouble finding right now. Here we have the American Blade Works Model 1, the button lock variant. Took him over 25 prototypes to get this knife down. American made, in MagnaCut, 3D milled blade, 3D milled titanium handle. MagnaCut ran at like 64 HRC. Some of the best stuff you can get your hands on, especially for the money. Titanium everything, body, backspacer, pocket clip, left hand friendly, incredibly good button lock action. Nice strong lockup, nice large stop pin in there. Beautiful knife from American Blade Works. It doesn't need any introduction. The Model 1, beautiful American made knife. Then we have the Medford Marauder, I think it is, S35VN coated Tanto blade, and you are looking at a fuller for the deployment. This thing is a monster, but it's not a monster for Medford. It does have titanium handles, backspacer, pocket clip, and then some beautiful milling etching into the titanium, that gear pattern, which I really like that and enjoy that. It is an exposed frame lock, great access to that lock bar, just an absolute chunk of S35VN. Here again, that is going to be a USA made knife. Next up, we have the Arno Bernard IMamba, and I get it. I won't be mad if some of these knives don't sell, but the pricing on some of these is what it is because the knife is expensive. I paid a lot for it, and depending on, I have the price adjusted accordingly, and a knife like this has literally no use on it whatsoever other than sitting in the case. I bought this strictly for my collection, and it's never been carried. It's a beautiful knife from Arno Bernard. This one has the cutout and the flipper tab. Very, very expensive knife. They're done in South Africa. Full titanium handle, carbon fiber on both sides, some beautiful orange matter, fat carbon fiber, lanyard hole for the lanyard fans, titanium clip. Excellent knife, almost like a Chris Reeve type knife, but I would say after handling several Chris Reeves, this is the one that I would prefer, and it does have a polished blade, so it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. I think he did these in RWL34. If that's wrong, I'll pop it up, but I think it was RWL34. I'll pop it up on the screen if that's wrong. Beautiful, smooth action. You want to talk about a knife that feels like it is floating on glass when you deploy it and close it. The IMamba is just an iconic pocket knife. Next, we have a gravity knife, and this one is coming in from Remette. I think it's called the, what is this? I forget what they're calling it. The Innovation, I think is what they're calling it. The Remette Innovation. I think that sounds right. Anyway, M390 on the blade steel, pearlescent finish. M390 ran properly. They run it 61 to 62. Full titanium body, titanium pocket clip. One thing I've always told everyone I love about gravity knives like this and OTFs is the entire body is enclosed. So it makes these knives very comfortable. Not going to be legal in every state, I don't think, but it's a phenomenal knife, phenomenal mechanism as well. That blade is locked up beautifully. I've tested many of these. I've bought 2 of them. I've sold one, and now I'm getting ready to sell another one, but I still have another one. So big fan of these gravity style knives and the slider mechanism. You can see how the jaws open when you slide it up. That's going to allow it to slide out, and then that locks that tang in there, and that bad boy is not going anywhere until you release those jaws. Very smooth, great little knife right here. It has a carbon fiber insert on the back side, and then a titanium pocket clip. It's going to be right hand carry only, and then of course the rest of the body and the switch is going to be titanium. Next, we have the Miguron Keryx. This used to be such a widely loved knife, and I still think that it is. I just don't know how easy these are to get anymore since Miguron changed up their ownership and all that sort of thing. I think they went under some pretty drastic changes. Might be able to still get your hand on this knife, not 100% sure, but the Keryx here, phenomenal knife. M390, you have a cutout and front flipper for the deployment. Detent is very good. Full titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip. Great access to that lock bar. Very smooth closing action. And I'll have a couple Migurons priced very well on this sale. And just a reminder, all the information is going to be down in the description. Pricing to all the knives. We're not going to into all that stuff because the video would be 50 minutes long. Next up, we have the Miguron Dromos, also coming in M390, but this one has a hand satin on the blade. You have a cutout and rear flipper for the deployment. The action on this is beautiful. Nice strong detent. Closing action is smooth, buttery smooth. Then you have milled titanium bolsters and then aluminum infused carbon fiber on both sides. Almost full length backspacer made out of titanium, and you have a milled tie clip, right hand carry only. But the Dromos here, fantastic knife. And then we have the Miguron Ekry here. This bad boy has a belt satin M390 blade, and they did these in 20 CV and M390. This happens to be the one they did in M390. Belt satin that runs into a hand satin. You do have a fuller and front flipper for the deployment. Almost like a gentleman's front flipper is what I would consider this. You have cross-cut textured titanium handles, titanium backspacer, and a titanium clip. Then you have a little pivot collar there on the lock side just to give that a little flair, which I like. And they don't have anything on the show side of these blades. Just their beautiful logo there on the pivot. One thing I've always loved about Miguron is they don't go overboard on the branding, really at all. Little logo like that is perfect. Oh, and it does have great access to the lock bar. Nice smooth action. Detent is great for a little blade like this. And you can get in there and flick this thing out with that fuller. Thumb or reverse flick. Might take a little bit of practice, but you'll be able to get it no problem. And the front flipper is designed very nicely. Good height, good jimping on it. Exactly what you would want. That is the Miguron Ekry. Next up, we have the Arcane Knives Crawler. Love this knife. Two-tone Warncliffe blade. I think he did these in 20 CV. Cutout and rear flipper for the deployment. Beautiful, beautiful action. Arcane has that futuristic design touch on his knives, and this has always been one of my favorites from Arcane. I don't think you can get this bad boy right now anymore either. Full titanium handle, backspacer, and a milled tie clip. Great access to that lock bar. Another knife that's going to have a fairly hefty price tag, but Best Tech did the OEM work for this one, I believe. It was Riot or Best Tech. I think Best Tech did this one here. I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It was Best Tech or Riot, and it is a superb, superb knife. Beautiful detent, really nice closing action. You have that little heavier blade, so it just goes home nicely down into that handle. That is the Arcane Designs Crawler. Very comfortable and a great utility blade shape. And I am selling my beloved F5.5. You cannot get these any longer either in the SuperHawk titanium. You do have a sheepsfoot blade in M390 with a beautiful belt satin cutout for the deployment. This used to be like the ultimate gentleman's sheepsfoot. Detent is excellent. It's going to be a recessed liner lock. Great access. Chamfered. Beautiful, beautiful construction. Deep carry, titanium clip, right hand only. And then, of course, you have the SuperHawk pattern milled all around. Excellent, excellent knife right there in beautiful condition. Speaking of beautiful, we have the Kubey Premium Momentum here. I love this knife right here, or the KB Momentum. M390 done 61 to 62. Thumb studs and a front flipper for the deployment. You actually can't get this version of this knife at all. They have a couple others, but this is the best looking Momentum that they did. This is one of the best knives I think Kubey or KB has ever done. I love this thing. I think this was when they were still going by Kubey. Milled tie clip, titanium backspacer. You do have a lanyard post back there in that backspacer. Really comfortable, great size, awesome blade shape, beautiful, beautiful detent. Front flipper is executed well, nice and snappy. And then they chamfered and jimped that lock bar. Just excellent, excellent stuff from Kubey right there. That is the Momentum, all titanium for the handle and hardware. and then a really well done M390 blade. Then we have the Renegade Provisions Co. Gungnir. Love this knife so much. Another one that's going to have a fairly hefty price tag. After the knife and the pocket clip here, this is aftermarket from Lynch. I think I have like $450, $460 into this knife right here. Excellent knife. This is a Ria OEM, and it is a monster folding knife. Flipper and cutout for the deployment. Belt satin into a hand satin. Excellent stuff from Renegade Provisions Co. All titanium handle, backspacer, and then, like I said, that is a Lynch titanium clip, tie backspacer with a lanyard hole. It is going to be right hand carry only, but if you're looking for a double XL premium monster sheep split, I won't be sad if that one doesn't go. But that is the Gungnir there. Next, we have the Kansept Knives SuperHawk. This bad boy is coming in S35VN. You do have that modified sheepswood, almost like a drop point blade. You have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper for the deployment. Nice detent. Kansept has been killing it, and I just got to make some space for more Kansept knives. And then we have an all titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip there. This thing is a monster as well. Very comfortable, really nice. And then we have the Kansept SuperHawk here. S35VN coated sheep split blade or drop point, whichever you want to call it. Kind of a drop point with an elongated belly. Dual thumb studs, really good action, rear flipper, titanium handle, tie backspacer, and a tie clip, right hand carry only. This thing is a monster. Great access to that lock bar. It is chamfered, really clean, smooth closing action. That is the Kansept SuperHawk. And then we have the premium Kansept Knives Eagle Strike S35VN blackwash blade, dual thumb studs, nice sharpening choil. This thing was a razor blade out of the box. Then we have a titanium handle, titanium clip, and backspacer, and then it is going to be a crossbar lock. Nice strong springs in there. I wouldn't say overly strong, but pretty good action on that longer blade. This is a good sized knife right here. Easily thumb flick it, reverse flick it, use the crossbar lock if you would like. That is the Kansept Knives Eagle Strike in its premium form. Fantastic knife. Then we have the Kizer Staffi. This is a beautiful knife right here. It's an Osho design, one of my favorite designers. You have a belt satin harpoon blade in S45VN, dual thumb studs for the deployment. You have a titanium bolster, full length titanium backspacer, which is amazing. And you have a titanium lower mounted pocket clip there. Excellent action on that crossbar lock. Beautiful action for a crossbar lock. Nice strong springs, very comfortable knife, and it's a great size. That is the Osho designed Staffi. Then we have the Kizer Aura here. This bad boy is coming in S45VN steel. You do have a Superman cutout for the deployment. Nice little gentleman's folder. Full titanium handle with carbon fiber inlays on both sides. You have a titanium pocket clip and then a carbon fiber backspacer, which is really cool. And you do have a lanyard post back there for the lanyard fans. No lefty love on this particular one, and it is going to be a recessed liner lock. And then you have that carbon fiber for the pivot collars as well. Really good looking knife. That is the Kizer Aura. And then we have the murdered out Kizer Veritas here. We have a coated S35VN blade, cutout and front flipper for the deployment. Incredible action. This knife is brand spanking new, hasn't been carried. I think it's cut like a sheet or two of paper, and that is it, because I bought one and then I got another one, so there's no reason to have two, so I'm selling the brand new one. We have a titanium handle, backspacer, and pocket clip here, and then some really cool triangular milling there. And I love the custom square pivot there. That is also going to be titanium. This is an excellent, excellent knife. That is the Kizer Veritas. And then the last one here is the Kubey Drake. This bad boy is coming in S90V. Beautiful modified sheepsfoot blade, and we have a cutout and rear flipper for the deployment. This thing is comfortable. It's a monster. I love this knife. This was one of the earliest knives I bought that was in S90V. It's such a good knife. I've had this for a very long time. It is in great condition. You are looking at titanium for the entire handle, backspacer, pocket clip, all the hardware. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife. I think you would have a hard time finding one of these in stock as well. Excellent construction, excellent build quality. That's going to wrap this up, guys. I think that's 20 or 25 knives. Like I said, I will have my email down in the description. It's gballvision@outlook.com. Any of the varying transaction apps you want to use, Cash App, PayPal, you know, Venmo, the other one that I can never remember. Those are all fine. I will have the knives in order that you see them. So the last knife is going to be the Kubey Drake here. They will be in order. I'll have the pricing next to them. And if and as they sell, I will try to update that list. That is down in the description. And there'll be 2 lists down there, and you'll see it broken up. Like I said, everything will be there for you. First come, first serve at the email address. Feel free to leave comments and hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people, and I truly appreciate it. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any sales, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. And if you love knife and gear content, you're in the right place. Make sure you also ring the bell. That'll notify you when I do release these new videos. I'll pop up a couple of videos that you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.